to be back in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. I am grateful to all of you for taking the time to be here. What a magnificent crowd. And I am extraordinarily grateful to have the support of one of the great public servants of these United States, Governor Bill Richardson. Bill Richardson has served in so many different capacities. As a member of Congress, as a member of an administration's cabinet, as a governor of one of our most beautiful states. And in each and every task that has been assigned to him, he has done extraordinary work. He's done the kind of work that you want from your public servant, somebody who's driven not just by raw ambition, not just by an interest in personal aggrandizement. He's been somebody who's been motivated by the desire to make the lives of his constituents. All right. Well, listen. Bill and I started running for president about 15 months ago. And I'm sure that he started his candidacy in his home state of New Mexico. I started in the capital of my home state of Illinois, in Springfield, Illinois. I stood on the steps of the old state capitol. This is the building where Abraham Lincoln served for so many years before he went to Washington to serve as president. This is the city where I served for many years in state government before I joined the United States Senate. And I announced this improbable journey to change America. And I have to say at the time, there were a number of people who asked me, why are you running this time? Why are you running so soon? You're a relatively young man. You can afford to wait. What I've explained to people is I believe in what Dr. King called the fierce urgency of now. Believe that there's such a thing as being too late. And that hour is almost upon us. This week we mark the 5th anniversary of the war in Iraq. We have spent well over $500 billion. There are some estimates that by the time this is over, we will have spent $3 trillion. We have lost thousands of lives. Thousands more have been made. And yet we're not more safe. And our standing in the world is drastically diminished. Our economy is in a shambles. All across the country, I meet people who have lost their homes or are on the verge of losing their homes. All across this country, I meet people desperate for health care. Maybe they can get health care for their kids, but they can't get it for themselves. Or the premiums or the deductibles or the co-payments keep going up and up and up. All across this country, we see schools that, despite the slogans, are leaving millions of children behind. All across this country, you meet people who are working sometimes 2-3 jobs, but their wages and their incomes have flatlined. While their costs of everything from gas at the pump to electricity to college education keep going up and up and up. In such circumstances, we cannot afford to wait. We our schools. We cannot wait to fix our healthcare system. We cannot wait to bring an end to global warming. We cannot wait to end this war in Iraq. We cannot wait. The time is now. So when I got into this race, I know Bill felt the same thing. What we understood was that the size of our challenges had outstripped the capacity of a broken and divided politics to solve. That the American people were hungry, were desperate for something different. A politics that wasn't based on tearing each other down, but was based on lifting the country up. That wasn't based on spin and PR and half-truths and double-speak. A politics that was based on honesty and straight talk and truth. But most of all, when I decided to run, I was betting on you, the American people. Some of you know I now live in Chicago, but I'm not originally from Chicago. I came to Chicago after college because I wanted to work at a grassroots level to help communities in need. And there were a group of churches on the far south side of Chicago that were dealing with the devastation of steel plants that had closed. And I went and worked with these churches as a community organizer for 3.5 years, setting up job training programs for the unemployed, and after-school programs for youth, and economic development for these communities. It was the best education I ever had because it taught me that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they're given a chance. It taught me that change doesn't happen from the top down, it happens from the bottom up because the American people stand ready for change. I believe that the American people were a decent people and a generous people, willing to work hard and sacrifice for future generations. And I was absolutely convinced that if we could just come together, all of us, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, young, old, rich, poor, if we could come together to challenge the special interests that have come to dominate Washington, but also to challenge ourselves to be better, to challenge ourselves to be better neighbors and better parents and better citizens, then there'd be no problem we could not solve, no destiny we could not fulfill. That was the bet that I was making 15 months ago. And I'm here to report that after 15 months of crisscrossing the country, after visiting 46 states, after speaking to hundreds of thousands of people, after shaking tens of thousands of hands, after kissing hundreds of babies, after eating hundreds of chicken dinners. You miss those chicken dinners, man? I am here to report that my bet has paid off. That my faith in the American people has participated. Because after what I do, Americans are standing up and they say, we want something new. We want something different. We want to turn the page. We want to write new chapters in American history. Turnout everywhere we go. People who never participated, young people